Hello guys, welcome back to my channel again, and I am International Master Minh, better known as Wonderful Time in chat.com. So here I am playing in my Speedrun Rapid account in order to play some Rapid game and trying to get from 900 to I think around 2100. I will try to play some 10 minutes game in the random pool, trying to answer his own kind of questions. I mean, you can ask me even in the game. I will try my best to answer everything. Also trying to show you some lessons, how to be better at chess, and also like some kind of typical mistakes that the player at 900 or 11, I don't know, like 900 or 1100 maybe, or 1000 players can make. Tell you how to fix that and tell you how to simply exploit that kind of mistakes. Sure? Feel free to ask me a question along the process. That's it. So let's start the game right away, and hopefully you enjoy that and you find that instructive. Let's go. Okay, first game here I meet the guy Han Xiaxian from I think Indonesia. So let's start right away. I think I will play d4 this time. I have been playing e4 in some other games. In this game I will play the Queen's Gambit probably. Knight c6. Okay, this actually is fine opening for black. I mean, I did play this thing in Bliss, so I know this is actually playable. But in a level, I don't really advise you to play this one, since it is not easy to play at all for black. Also, you might get into some trouble with your piece's development. It might get a bit laggy, I can tell you that. I will keep on playing with the development here. e4 here, keep on developing. e4 e5, there's still normal things here. The idea of knight c6 is trying to push e5 right away, which is making sense, right? e5. Now if you play knight f3, you can make it back to the Scotch variation, but instead I will play d5 to grab the center and also trying to chase the knight right away. Also, I can get more spaces from my piece as well. The question for him now is how wide can his knight run? Hi. Knight d4. This is a very best square for the knight. Guys, how can you try and exploit this move? Knight d4 is a very bad move here for black. He should go like knight 7 or knight b8, whatever, but this move is simply not happening. That is still my account. Now I'm just in my Speedrun account here to play some Rapid. That's it. I'm just not playing that account. I am playing Rapid in my Speedrun account. That's it. So now you can consider this one as some Speedrun, I can say, content. I think you have known that kind of content from Danya stream or Hikaru stream as well, right? So now I'm playing Rapid here. Yes, normally in the opening, I mean, one, I can say, recommendation I want to show you is that the pieces should not be going so, I can say, far away, since normally it will get, I can say, a bit hanging or simply trapped, and c3 is a good move. When the knight on d4 here can simply be captured this move. GG. I mean, like, it is over right away after 4 moves, right? Only 4 moves, and now we up a piece. Queen f6. I don't see anything. I mean, like, I think he wants to defend the pawn on this way maybe, but obviously we can take the free knights, right? To d4. This move should be played here. I don't think it should be other one. e4. Okay, now so after 5 moves, we managed to up a piece here, and thank you John for 3 months. Appreciate it. Now after e4 here, so obviously we are up 5 after fine move with upper pawn, right? So now this can be a thing to, I think, for us to be proud here. I think simply now we can play knight f3, right? Develop the knight, attacking on d4, also trying to develop as well. So g5 can also be playable, which is what I'm going to do now. Yes, in the opening, develop with tempo is always a good attempt, I can tell you that. In the opening, develop with tempo is always a good thing. That's it. Queen g6, okay. Now he step up the queen away from the attack. Also he wants to attacking the pawn on e4, right? You see? So now this, I think, the simplest way to develop here is knight d2. Defend the pawn as well. Also in the future you can look for this kind of thing, knight b3 in this one, and put pressure on the pawn on d4 later. You understand me? I think he may play something like d6 or knight f6 here, or this one as well, with the idea to chase the bishop away. But we are fine in both cases, right? Knight f6, S. Yes, as I guess. Knight f6. Once again, he put pressure on the pawn on e4. You see that? So now the question is, how can we deal with that? For me, I think the simplest option is bishop d3. We defend the pawn here, right? And we're fine here. Castles next, and we can simply finish development and our piece. That's it, right? That's it. That's it. In the game d6. d6. Now when he already do something like that, I think we can simply castles, right? I think nothing's going to be wrong here. For sure, so I think the best way simply is trying to castles and then finish development, right? Nothing's doing wrong with this. Let's move knight b3, whatever, should be fine for us. Feel free to ask me questions along the process. I mean, I'm pretty sure that knight b3 is fine too. b3 is fine too, obviously, but I just want to focus on my development. I mean, I think that should be the easiest thing to do. Also something that you guys should follow, since in the opening should be played for sure. h3. Now what can you take on f3? By h3 here, so I simply want to chase the bishop away, so that the spin here will not be so annoying anymore. Take it with the bishop. So now what do you think we can capture as back? The knight or the queen on d1? Depends on if you want to drop a piece or not. Yes, it is. I mean, obviously a thing which is simple, right? Queen f3, drop a bishop on g5. That's why this is on the move. You have no other choice. Also now the queen also defend the bishop on d3 as well. And now e5 is becoming a huge threat. e5 now is becoming a huge threat. That is simply hard to defend against. Now e4. This is a really bad move. But I mean, it's hard to recommend something better for him at this moment. I can say you that. Since now, I mean, obviously, the e file is still completely open, right? So this thing is super risky. Your king is open in the e file, and now you take on e4 and you open up the e file. So now, guys, a simple question: how can you exploit these mistakes? And how can you simply win material due to the e-file weaknesses? You know, I mean, obviously we see a pin in the e-file, right? So there should be a way to take that. But now, if you go for e1, he can play f5 to defend the knight with the pawn. That's why bishop takes first is much more correct. It forced queen takes here, right? And now by e1 here, we can pin the queen and we win the next move. Right? The thing is that if you play something not correct, bishop, like, you know, if you play like e1 now, you can play f5, and then his pawn can still work the knight on e4, and you cannot win something so high there. Bishop e4, I don't know if you see that, but now instead of queen takes e4, he castles and resign. Yes. All of a sudden, I think he see that the queen on g6 is dropping here, I can say. See, right? It's one. And it's over right now. There are simply no defense here at all, right? There's no defense at all, which is kind of clear thing first, correct? Okay, so let's get back to the I think I can show you some like thing here. This position maybe. I also see Dania is playing some rapid game as well, which is funny. I think Dania is playing at like 2100 level, but for me, I'm playing at 900 level. That's the main difference. Okay, so back to the game here. In the game, so White make a terrible mistake so early on. You know, I mean, like, he shouldn't allow this. After d4, knight here, e4, things are on fine. It's on fine. But I mean, he should not play like the d4 here. This variation is, I mean, like, not really bad. I mean, I play this one myself for black, but he need to play knight 7 and knight g6. I don't know why, but I mean, from what I see in some early level games, they don't really love some retreating moves. They just want to move the pieces like forward. They are not a big fan of retreating, I can say you that. That's why, you know, if you can exploit that, you can win a pieces like this. In the game, he played d4, and after c3, suddenly the knight is trapped. You see? And this is actually a weird thing here, I can say you that. At the c3, so the knight now have no other square, right? The square has been controlled by the bishop. This 2 square by the pawn and d5. No other square, right? No other square. And Trika, please, I think ignore him. I think he's being weird. You know, like, the more familiar your channel can be, the weirder it can be, I guess, right? In the game Queen f6, he sees that his knight here drops, so he plays this move in order to defend the pawn d4, I think. Takes here, knight f3, bishop c5, bishop g5 here, queen g6, and knight d2, right? I simply develop anything with tempo. You see? Which is a good thing. I mean, for me, so my recommendation for you guys will simply be trying to develop with tempo in the opening, and that should always work. When you need to get the pieces out with some other threats, and that will accelerate your development. You understand me? This is my ideas, I can say that. It's my main ideas here. In a game, so d2, f6, d3, simply defending the pawn here, right? And castles next. I just want to finish my development fast and start an attack. d6, castles, make it easy, right? g4, h3, safe play. I am not playing something that is hard. I just want to play something safe. Knight f3, and now you can see that, right? After all developments, now we are finishing with our development, and we start to get the attack start, right? So that's why I always mention to you guys that in the opening, just play it safe, developing fast, and after that you can start your attacking. You can launch your assault after that. Understand me? Okay, in the game he stumbled with knight e4 here, and this one is over. As I mentioned earlier, rook e1 f5, right? And this makes the win a bit harder for sure. So you can go this one directly and force the queen here, and after rook e1 now you got a pin, right? And this pin simply give you a free piece. And thank you Benjamin, thank you GM Benjamin Bob for the raid. I appreciate it. Welcome raiders. And Trika, can you please give me a shout out to our big Benjamin Bob, our big band? And hello man again. So here we are, I'm International Master Minh, better known as Wonderful Time here. And I am going to play some rapid game in my speedrun account. And thank you Trika as well. Yes it is. I mean, like, that's the thing. I mean, it's not easy to be checked, I can say that. And Poe, please do not spam. Poe, please do not spam the emote. Actually. And no, I'm not from Japan. I'm from Vietnam actually. Okay, Poe, I mean, one more spamming and you will get time out. One more spamming. Okay guys, so in the game, I think the game went pretty smoothly, right? The game went pretty smooth, right? Any questions from the game? I mean, if there are no questions, we can start a second one. I want to play one more, since I want to give you guys some lessons, right? And that is also for the raid as well. Most cool guys on the planet. Nice to hear. Yes, we are. Okay, I mean, I don't see anyone here, and I assume there's no question, right? You can always ask me later, for sure. So let's start second game right away. And let's go. Next game we get the guy Alexander Palmer from Australia. We got some Australian guys here. D4 again. As I mentioned earlier, this time I want to play some D4 stuff. Since last time I played E4 already. He played D6, which is actually a pretty safe way, and also I think he wants to play this kind of thing later, which is known the modern opening. I don't know if this is like a very famous and like popular thing in early level, but what I always, advise my students to play here is E4. Simply robbing the center. E6. He is trying to play safe maybe? This looks really passive, I don't know why. You can even see the name here by the opening with the name of small center defense. Small center, right? I mean, I think that name is perfectly correct. Small center defense. F3. Once again, developing normally and trying to activate my pieces. F6. Guys, I mean, I can tell you that this move is not a good move. No, this is actual name of the opening. You see here, right? Small center defense. Why do I need to troll? I am recording on YouTube, so obviously I am trying to be real honest. Okay guys, F6 is a bad move. Not only it doesn't develop anything, but also the knight here on G8 cannot get F6 normally, and believe me, this is not the thing you want to see. I will simply keep developing bishop d3 castles, and as I mentioned earlier, I will develop first before I give you some ideas later. Black is very crumpled after this move. His bishop here and his knight, I think, will be pretty hard to developing here. b6. This guy is playing something weird. I don't know why he pushed a lot of pawns like this, but I will once again focus on my development. Knight c3. And thank you Michiko for the complimentary. I really appreciate that. d5. And guys, this is something you cannot do when you do not develop. Please try to close the position as much as you can. But now, somehow, he is not castled yet, right? His pieces is not developed yet, and he attempt to open up the center. And you know, that is a very dangerous step for him. That's why now we simply take here, right? We take here and then we open up the center. His king is here, and obviously it's a good thing for us. Correctly? And that's why now rook e1 check. Understandable, right? Understandable. All the things just, I think, go pretty smooth for us again. King f7. Good move by him. A good move by him though. This one here, so his king is temporarily safe. Now I will bring another piece to put pressure on the attack. Queen e2. Queen e2. I also have a small threat as well. But if he didn't see that, I will show you later. Yes, here it is. Bishop e7. Okay guys, now time to review my ideas. Now why to play, and we got a very nice sacrifice to win material, guys. Why to play here, and there's a very nice sacrifice to win material. What is that? I will give you guys like a few seconds before I give you the answers. In the speedrun, yes it is. I am trying to play speedrun here in my account. The fun part is that both me and Dania, we are both playing speedrun right now, which is like, you know, the same content, right? But he is playing in the 2100 pool and me 900. Yes, Trika, yes guys. Do you think this is nicest 95? By Queen e2, I also prepare this thing. You see here, right? I also prepare this kind of tricks. And this is actually really easy to be 4-4. His king is really bad. And now I got this diagonal here to attack, right? My queen on e2 is defending c4, and now it is over. Thank you Michiko for that. That is an honor for me. And obviously, this one, right? He walked into the pin here, and now it's just over. Not only the queen will drop, but this knight here as well is likely to drop. The bad news for him is that he simply had no way to defend here. Queen c4 I take here, and then I take the knight on c6. But if he doesn't play that, what can he do to defend the queen on d5? Which is temporarily hanging now, right? Maybe this one can be playable, I think. Maybe. To be honest, I don't see something here for him. He's in trouble now. For some reason, I can say that. He is in trouble now. Yes, I know that one, right? Queen c4. And now we got another double attack. The king on f7 and the queen on c4, right? This one here. And the knight on c6 will be dropped soon. after this one, we had another attack. You see it, right? Like the pawn moves in the opening. It's not a good thing. One thing I kind of realized in some low level game is that people tend to play some pawn moves a lot. Okay, bishop e6. He want to block the check. So now guys, what can white do now to win easily? What can white do now to win games easily here? I mean, this is fine though, but you don't need to do that, right? You can still take the knight on g5. The simplest option here is simply this one, right? You can take the free bishop. Since you got the rook on e1 to work that. You see that? And then the knight is still here. Now you simply take a juicer and take both. Yeah, this one is fine too. This one is fine as well. When you can also like winning the rook and the bishop, right? Everything is over here. Rook e8. Now there are plenty of ways, but I will once again attacking right away. Don't see why not. d5. Now I want to bring my knight to the attack. Bishop f4 also is playable as well. Everything now just collapse for him. The bad news for him is that bishop d6 here allow mate. Knight here allow this move as right away. g5, okay, not a bad move for him. Knight d4. You see, right? I mean, when you're winning and when you sense some kind of attack, try to bring your pieces into the game. Meaning you're bullying this person. The thing I want to say is that, sadly enough, normally in this level, normally in the speedrun, I'm going to bully my opponent, I can say that, normally. Quite clear, right? He is in real trouble. He's in real trouble. e7, defend the bishop on e7, makes sense. Bishop d2. Another pieces start to get into the game. You see, right? Both our pieces has been in great place. Now time for us to bring some more forces to the attack. King f7, bishop b4. Guys, it looks very surprising, right? But now since the bishop here is pinned, the rook is need to be defended for sure. Yes, and he allowed this one, which is a very juicy mate. A very juicy mate. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm sorry, Alexander Palmer. This is good play. Hopefully it is. I don't know. Seems to be, right? Seems to be. GG. Well, what I can say is that, in the game, it seems to be quite easy. But the thing is that he makes some bad mistakes, and he allows me to attack him freely. Let me try and show you the game again, and you can feel free to ask questions. Sure? In the game. So here, he will play d4, d6, e4. If he play the g6, we can get the, I think, normal modern variation. I think we will get this one soon in the speedrun, I think. Instead, he played e6. This is quite a passive, you can see, right? The only idea here that actually black can play with this kind of thing is the hippo. This one, like this. The hippo variation. I don't see something else. Is Pirk not modern? Maybe it's Pirk, but I mean, like if you play here and Jesus here, and now it becomes the modern defense. But obviously, if you play this move, this one. Now this is Pirk, but if you play g6, the modern is the thing without knight f6, and the Pirk is a thing with knight f6. That is basically the difference. In the game, so e4, e6, f3, I just try and develop f6, and this one, I mean, this is a very, very perch. Really? Pronounce perch. Really? Perk? I think it should be like perk. Yeah, I mean, I always pronounce that like perk. Maybe I was wrong. Thank you, Trigger, for that. Purse. Oh, purse. Okay, now I know the opening. Purse. Pierce. Pierce. If you want to fight for center immediately, how valid is e5 for black in the game? e5 works. e5 is a good opening though. This is the Morozzi defense. Since, you know, now if you play here and here, this kind of endgame is not really bad for black. You can play this one next here, bishop king c7, and then f6. This kind of setup is not really bad for black. Here, modern and King's Indian cannot transpose to each other. No, it can, but it depends on your opponent. I mean, like if he played like, you know, first like here, so c3, and now you cannot transpose it to the King's Indian anymore. But if you play c4 here, now it can be King's Indian, right? Now it can be. So it depends on your opponent and depends on his strategy and his move. That's it. In the game, so f6 was play here, should be 3, knight c6, castles. You can see, right? I mainly focus on the development, no matter what my opponent play. Since, like, you know, he will always mess things up really soon. So I think we can simply like what's talking about my sincerely Nimzo games. Really? I mean, that should be an honor for me though. Should be an honor for me. I mean, that thing actually is playable, but it's not easy for sure. It's not easy. I think it should be. Like in the game here. So, I mean, like he just made some really weird moves. And obviously, it cost him all the time on the world, right? All the time on the world to develop his pieces. Knight c3, simply developing. I mean, I don't see any reason why we should not, right? d5, and this is the beginning of his mistakes, the beginning of your own troubles. When you are slower in development, pierce, yes, pierce. Okay, I memorize that right now. In the game, black somehow open up the king position when the king is still on e8. His pieces still not going like develop as well, and that is a bad idea. In the game, I simply open up all the things, right? Check here, king f7 and queen e2. Yes, it is. I mean, I can have something better here, I think so. Maybe I can try like bishop f4 here or knight h4 here as well. Go for this one. I'm pretty sure I have something better here. But in the game, I simply play simple queen e2. Get a queen to the e5, right? And I trick him with this move. In the game, he fought for that right away. Should be 7 and 95. This is over right away. Black should play knight 7 here at own cost. This one. He should play this. But sadly, nothing can be done. Is bishop e7 valid to block a check from the rook? Should be, I think. Should be. This one, right? Bishop e7 here. You mean this one? I mean, if in the game this one happened, I will play bishop f4. This move. Once again, developing my pieces, and this move can be like bishop knight b5 here, this one, or this one maybe as well, right? I mean, simply white can enjoy a very long-term initiatives when he has fully developed his pieces, and black didn't, right? His king is weak. His pieces is also really passive. and white can really enjoy a really good edges here, correct? In the game, somehow he played bishop e7 here, and he fall into my tricks. And suddenly, he played queen d5, and this is over right away. But whatever it is, I mean, like, even if he plays something else, what can he do? I can always follow with this move next, and the king on f7 will be in the lane of the bishop, will be like staying on fire, right? Simply, he is playing with fire now. He is playing with fire now, and this is simply over. You understand me? In the games, that's why, and I don't know why, but he take the queen here, miss my next move. But even if he plays something like the past, he would be in serious trouble. Actually, in losing position, I can say that. Yes, f6 literally looks fatal for him. You know, I mean, he should like developing his pieces, and this f6 square should belong to the knight. That's it. And in the game, things come really natural, right? Take on the material, bring the pieces to the game, and you know, simply it's over, right? And the red from Daniel, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Thank you, Daniel, for that. Thank you, Daniel, for the red. And once again, I want to say, I'm really proud of your work. I'm really proud of your play, buddy. You are really making your viewers and even me proud of your play. You play so well in the event, I can say that. And thank you, Jem, for the 10 with the subs. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Once again, welcome Raiders, and hello guys. I'm just talking about the game I'm playing in my Speedrun account as well. The fun thing is that I'm going to stop soon, I can say that. So I think let me try my best to find a good channel, I guess. But whatever it is, I'm really appreciate the raid. And I want to say thank you a lot. In the games, I mean, like, you know, let's come back to the game again to tell my readers what's going on here. In the game, so I mean, I play with a guy like 900 in rapid. And hello, Curious Chimpanzee as well. You know, pulling my hair is my side, buddy. In the game, d6, e4, e6, and knife 3. I play all the things normally, right? But then, do you post your repeat rotation on YouTube? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And then suddenly, he played f6. Yes, my opponent plays something really weird in the opening. Somehow, instead of just like developing his pieces, he pushed some pawn move. And guys, I mean, one thing I always mention is that in the opening, you should try to develop. You should try to develop instead of just like making some pawn moves, but normally should not work, I can say that. In the game, I just focus on my development, ignoring his pawn moves here, and then d5 is super bad. I think he can feel the passivity in his pieces. Yes. But simply, I can take here and then open up the king for him, right? How to develop? Good question. I mean, like, you know, with own kind of pawn moves, he simply wastes the time and he didn't develop, right? One thing I can tell you to do is that always bring the knight to f3, bishop to d3 maybe, or if you can, obviously develop with tempo. It's a good idea too, I can say that. And he simply makes a lot of like move to waste, I can say, and now we won. And then I get a trick here that he fought for that. But sadly, it is just not easy at all to find a thing to do, I can say that. And you know, this is over for sure. Like, he dropped the material and all the things drip apart. GG, I can say GG. No, I'm fine. And also, I won't be ball for sure. I won't be ball, I can say that. Won't be, never be. Okay guys, so the game actually went pretty quickly for me. So, GG, and I'm sorry Alexander for that. I think I'm going to call it a day as well. You know, pretty unlucky raid. I mean, I am planning to raid Danya actually, but then he raid me earlier. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Okay, I mean, I think I will see you guys again in entire Tuesday. If nothing goes wrong, I will also stream that. So once again, I mean, thank you Danya for the raid. Thank you guys, thank you Jam, thank you all of you for all the supports. I really appreciate it. Okay, stop the recording as well, and hopefully this game is instructive enough.